None of this would have happened if you would just listen to me. If you even cared, you'd actually be here. Oh my god, this Spider-Man had to do this.
The Faded Podcast with Darren and Oscar.
Welcome back to Faded. It's a new year, new us, new channel. No, not really, but new stuff to talk about.
It's gonna be a great year, and let's start this year off by saying goodbye to 2021 by talking about something good that came out at the end of the year.
Yeah, finally something good out of that year. It's the Faded Podcast, talking about Spider-Man, Home Alone, the movie. something to do with home.
Spider-Man. Faded's talking about Spider-Man.
Can he swing from a web? Yeah, no shit. It's a spider. Look out!
That was the wrong Spidey theme I was referencing. I was referencing the 90s one.
Oh, okay. Well, like the cartoon one.
The one from Fox Kids.
Oh, okay. Wait, is it the one that goes Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man, Spider-Bug, Spider-Bug? I used to love that show as a kid.
Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
That show was so good, then the story got so deep, like later on in the seasons.
Seems to be the thing with Spider-Man content.
Yeah,
like
just anything.
With any movies and cartoons, like when it gets super intense with the story, it ends up getting canceled and they're not able to finish it. Because there was also Spectacular Spider-Man and also of course the movies.
And the movies, yeah.
The ones from Sony. But today we got to see them make a comeback.
Coming back.
Yeah, it was. It's all Spider-Man for this one.
Yeah, we have hinted, or we kind of like had our thoughts on the trailers in the last few Faded episodes, kind of what we predicted, and we were right. So spoilers for this episode. If you haven't seen it, then go on, watch it. Come on, what are you doing?
It's been about a month. Go see it, or maybe rent it if you have a Disney Plus subscription, or if there's a Redbox at your grocery store.
Do something, yeah. Or watch it online like I do.
Of course.
You might get like the ads throughout the movie where they promote the casino stuff, but I thought that was in the actual movie, so I kind of got, oh, okay, Spider-Man's promoting casino stuff. The piñata comes down and confetti pops out. I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing they edited in the movie.
Maybe it means that Spider-Man 4 will be in Vegas.
Yeah. Spider-Man 4 piñata. They're in casinos. So, yeah, I say before we talk about the movie, I just want the audience to know our connection with the wall crawler man himself. So I ask you, Darren, what does Spider-Man mean to you, and what's your experience with him?
Well, I'm going to start with talking about my experience. Got to know him with the movies that came out. The ones with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, which are pretty fun. I mean, sure, they're not perfect, but they're still pretty well made. And and all the heroes and villains in the movie have their moments. Especially the ones that get brought back for second chances in the roles. But we'll get to that. I think what Spider-Man means to me is, well, someone who is basically someone that does their best, no matter what the cost.
Yeah.
And you know how Spider-Man kind of is a story about growing up and being a good person.
I like that. Like, yeah, I've also grew up on the Tobey Maguire movies, and yeah, I was really obsessed with them. And yeah, they might not be perfect, but they're more goofy and fun. You kind of like, it's just good to see that feeling, you know. They're fun. They're fun to watch. It actually feels like a comic book in real life. That's how I feel with those movies. So I connect with them. And Spider-Man as a person, he's just like many others. He just connects more with the younger audience. He's like in high school and college. He's a really young person, and the struggles kind of relates to everyone else with relationships, friendships, betrayals, stuff like that. And you know, he's just relatable. As a hero, other superheroes who fight baddies and all that, saves the day and all that, when it comes to Spider-Man, he is the hero that wants to help people, whether they're good guys or bad guys. He would help them first and, you know, fight if it's the last resort. Like, Spider-Man isn't worried about how he looks to other people or what the public thinks of him, or just being cool for clout. He focused on helping the helpless. He's not doing it for him, he's doing it for what's right, and for his people, for the city. And from the shows we watched growing up, or from the movies, depending what you saw, you always see him wanting to help, even his worst enemies. He does whatever he can to save them, and that is like a real superhero to me.
That's well said.
Got you in the feelings there.
And honestly, you can tell that the people that make these movies really love Spider-Man, and
yeah, they understand what Spider-Man is.
I mean, they know that he can get emotional and angry, but that's usually when like a loved one is killed in one of these movies.
Yep.
But usually he calms down and basically gets his mind straightened out and thinks things through.
Yeah, and it's a good message for people out there. You know, like all the stress, channeling your anger, and all that.
And we all know that with great power comes great responsibility saying.
That's the actual message, yeah.
It's what he ended up living by.
Yeah. It's been like almost an entire decade since the MCU movies really took off. Ever since that first Avengers movie, and now everyone's buzzing about the MCU.
Oh yeah, it's almost 10 years since the first Avengers movie.
It's crazy to think about that. The Avengers almost 10 years ago. Like, damn. Like, we were in middle school.
They've really expanded.
Yeah. But like, with all popular things like superhero movies, we know one day they will fade and all that, so yeah, MCUs may have its ups and downs, where some people were really into it, but then kind of like fade out of it, stopped caring of it. Like, there are some eras that we have been disinterested in it.
I mean, we'll see if the studios want to adapt some comic book stories that are not superheroes for a change.
Yeah. I think this movie is the reason why MCU does have some fresh ideas. Because I think the MCU has a new way of making new Marvel movies for the future, and now it's pushing towards the whole parallel universe formula. Because as this movie did so well, I think the next few Marvel movies will definitely do more of the parallel universe stuff. And I know the comics did a whole lot of parallel universe stuff. So, yeah, they will pull this off, definitely. Because they'll just, like, pull off, like, they'll just grab any random characters they want. Be like, oh, it's a parallel universe. It's just so easy to do.
Well, I mean, we've from what we've seen so far, they seem to be doing a good job.
Yeah. But like many others, we were hyped for this movie because of the trailers.
And the animated credit scene from Venom Let There Be Carnage.
Carnage, yeah. And the feedback...
We'll get to that.
Yeah. The feedback and the response was very positive. Good receptions. It's all good, it's all good. Yeah, I do like this movie overall. I really fuck with it. But there are some things I would nitpick. But it's not like in a negative way. It's more like, oh, I wish they explained this more, or oh damn, I wish they used them more. Stuff like that.
Well, no movie's perfect.
Yeah. So how do we start this? Where do we begin?
The beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
where it starts right after the ending of Far From Home, where Peter Parker is out as Spiderman by Mysterio.
Yeah, so he's revealed to the world he is Peter Parker as Spider-Man. So
And his life basically gets ruined because everyone knows, and the press is always at his and Aunt May's apartment.
yeah,
And people at his school are treating him differently,
yeah,
and no one's leaving him alone. And also his friends are also having their lives ruined because they have associated themselves with him.
yeah. Even when they're trying to apply for college, but they can't because recent offense. That's what it said. So it was pretty upsetting. Poor Zendaya, poor Ned. So yeah, Peter Parker feels really bad.
And then he goes to Doctor Strange, and he says, "Hey, Doc, make everyone forget that I'm Peter Parker." And then when Doctor Strange is casting the spell, he's like, "No, wait, it needs to be everyone except this person. Wait, hold on a second. This person also."
So,
And it ends up messing up the spell.
yep. Go ahead.
And then Doctor
He
Strange
messed
is
up.
like, why don't you talk to the person who rejected you from college to see if you could at least get your friends in college?
He was like, oh yeah.
You could wait a minute, I could have just done that the whole time? Peter, you did not think this through. Okay, maybe it's not how the conversation exactly happened, but I think I'm accurate enough, right?
It's what I remember, yeah. Yeah, just say, do we really need Doctor Strange in this movie? Maybe because I just don't like him. I don't care for him. He's so boring.
Well,
He looks bored. He sounds boring. He fights like he doesn't care.
he's only like, he's not technically not the main character in this movie. I mean, he seems to be okay as a side character for the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
And they're also the. He seems to be needed to get this multiverse stuff rolling.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I think out of all the people they have, I think he's the only one who can actually do some parallel universe stuff, so I guess that's why he's the only one he can do. I guess that's why they put him in the movie.
I mean, not to mention his place is in New York, so it's convenient for a New Yorker like Peter Parker.
Yeah. So that happens. Spidey goes to that person on the highway, say like, oh, please put them in college, you know, because Zendaya is so beautiful. She is queen, fam. And Ned's alright, so put them in. She's like, yeah, alright. And then Darkhawk shows up. This is totally accurate to what we're saying here. I'm not lying.
No, you're doing a good job so far.
Yeah, Tom Holland actually said that. He said, no, I shouldn't be dating Zendaya. Please, Oscar, please, call up Zendaya. Please date her instead. So yeah, sure. Oh, sure, man. Whatever you say.
Well, good luck with that. I mean, knowing how the movie ends, you could totally do it, Oscar. But again, we'll get to that.
Mate, I have to audition for Spider-Man next time. I think that's how they get the girls.
Well, which one will you get? Are you gonna get Gwen Stacy or MJ?
Whoever Zendaya is.
like she's an MJ. It just doesn't mean Mary Jane.
No, it's Michelle.
I think it's based off of the Ultimate Universe MJ.
Yeah. I'll get that one. So Darkhawk shows up. Wreaks havoc. He was the first villain to appear, and he is really cool.
And when he unmasks Spidey, he's like, "Wait a minute, you're not Peter Parker." And then Peter's like, "Actually, I am Peter Parker. Didn't you see the news?"
Yeah, like what do you mean? And he absorbed his powers. Like Darkhawk got the Iron Man suit powers for his arms for a few seconds, and Tom Holland was able to control his arms. I don't know. Something happened.
Yeah, he ripped off a piece of the Spidey suit, the Iron Spider suit to be exact.
Yeah.
And then Peter realizes that, wait a minute, the nanotechnology can totally hack into the suit, and he's able to hack into Darkhawk's arms and use them to save everybody on the bridge.
Yeah, for like a comedic effect. And then that's when Gobby shows up. He showed up in his glider. He was throwing a bomb, then they get sucked into his little place.
And we see that Darkhawk recognizes the Green Goblin as Norman Osborn.
He does, yeah.
And questions why he's alive.
Yeah. That's the one thing I wish they explained. It was not only all these villains were pulled from different universes, but there were different points in time in their universe. Like Darkhawk, before he was sacrificed, he got sucked into their world. Goblin before he died. Electro before he died, etc. Like, I don't think we got a full explanation how that happened.
Well, I mean, I think it's explained that it's all the villains who know of Spider-Man's secret identity as Peter Parker. Because back in the mid-credit scene of Venom Let There Be Carnage, when Venom was mind-linking with some of the alternate universe versions of himself, he ended up linking minds with one of the Venoms from an alternate universe, and it made him find out who Spider-Man is, and it got him into the MCU.
Oh, so that's why, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all the people who know Spider-Man's secret identity, because you know how Doctor Strange's spell was supposed to erase everybody's mind about who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
So instead of erasing everybody's mind about Spider-Man's secret identity, it instead brought more people who know Spider-Man's secret identity.
Oh, okay. From different universes.
Yeah, and they leave it unknown as to whether all of them die or not.
Oh, okay.
So we just know that the villains in this movie are not dead yet.
I see, yeah. Okay. We're getting something. So, they captured Darkhawk. So he was trying to explain who he is and all that. And
we also see that the Lizard was captured too.
Yeah, the Lizard and Sandman as well.
Well,
at the same time, or
after Spidey enlists the help of Ned and MJ to help him, and then Ned looks at the Lizard's cage and is like, "Wow, you caught a dinosaur." Spidey then goes out to capture more villains, and then he ends up meeting Electro, and helps capture Electro with the help of Sandman.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah.
And we see that and we see that Sandman doesn't really turn into a full human form. Meanwhile, Electro gets his full human form back.
Yeah, it was something about Sandman and Lizard, because they stayed in their CGI form for the longest of time. I can understand the Lizard because it's Lizard, but Sandman can easily turn back to normal whenever he can.
That's something I questioned throughout his screen time in the movie, because we did see him transform back into his human form in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Maybe it's implied that he's weaker because of the transportation spell.
Yeah. But we know in the end they do turn back to their normal selves. But I think they recently revealed that when it turns back into, the human Sandman and the human lizard, they were repurposed stock footage of the two from Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 1. They used repurposed stock footage of that.
Maybe it's because they've aged.
Yeah. So they never set foot on set. But they did provide the voice.
Well, there is at least that.
So yeah, like you said, maybe they just look older now.
I guess the other villains, the other actors got lucky with how well they've aged.
Yeah.
Where clearly Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx all got in shape for their parts.
Yeah, they look accurate. But hey, I'm not complaining, but it did look good, but I was still hoping, damn, maybe we get more human moments from Sandman and Lizard. Also, what do you think of Jamie Foxx's character, Electro? Because, from the No Way Home Electro versus the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Electro.
I think I prefer the No Way Home one.
Yeah.
Where the character was just written better for that, and not to mention, it just feels good to see Jamie Foxx get a second chance in the role.
I respect that, yeah, because he does deserve, a second chance, yeah.
And not to mention, he ends up assembling an outfit that looks like the comic book counterpart. The original Electro.
Yeah, I remember, yeah. It's not just the blue boy look from the old one.
And now people will confuse him less for Dr. Manhattan.
Like, for me, I mean, his character is completely different. I mean, if you remember from the Andrew Garfield one, he was like a nerd and a bit of a loser, you know, and now in No Way Home, he's just more like a cool guy.
Yeah, and
a cool, attractive guy.
Yeah, and not to mention that the lizard acknowledged that he used to have messed up teeth and a comb over and glasses.
Yeah. Looks-wise, yeah, it's different, but also like his personality and the way he acts is completely different too. I mean, I guess the MCU doesn't want that Electro in their movie, so they gotta switch it up.
And I think the way he's written works.
Yeah,
the idea is that he's a lot more confident now that he doesn't look too much like a dork and has a full body again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all I ask is like they kind of explain that, or maybe we show that, just so like, oh, he's now more confident. It just feels like this drastic change because you know he gets zapped into their world just before he died, so he's still in that nerd character mode, and now he's this completely different person. It's Jamie Foxx playing Jamie Foxx. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, he definitely feels more like Django Freeman.
Yeah.
Than the character he was playing in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. I like Jamie Foxx, don't get me wrong. Just saying, just give me some explanations. There's also, we get to see the Green Goblin, so they dived more into his whole split personality thing, which I really respect.
And not to mention, he destroys the mask after getting into a fight with the Goblin personality.
I kind of hated that. I wish he had the mask on a little bit longer, just a little bit.
I did too. I
like that mask. It looked so good on him, the new one.
I mean, they clearly could have had him reassemble his mask or something.
Yeah, fucking Kylo Ren that shit. Just fix the mask. It looks so good.
They probably would have if J.J. Abrams wrote the movie.
Yeah. I mean, come on, that mask, man, he looks like a villain from Power Rangers. It looks so fucking good on him.
I mean, at least it's better than like having the Green Goblin from Amazing Spider-Man 2, you know?
Yeah, not that one, no. So Tom Holland got all these villains together. He realized, oh, they're from universes where they almost died or they're about to die. He was like, no, we don't want to do that. So we should find a cure.
Don't kill him, cure him.
Yeah, don't kill him, cure him. So
this isn't Old Yeller. You're able to make a cure for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the Civil War times. You don't have to take them out to the back and shoot them.
Yeah. And that's why I love Spider-Man, just so like he solves problems, like he wants to help them first before, oh, let's beat them up because they're bad guys. Like he genuinely wants to help them. Even though Doctor Strange was so like, well, they killed people in their universe, so that's their fate. They deserve to die. But Tom Holland's like, no, shut up. Get the fuck out of here. This is my movie.
I mean, Doctor Strange didn't even kill Dormammu in his own movie.
Yeah.
Or the people in or like the people who were like the guys with evil Doctor Strange powers.
Yeah.
So saying that so it's like hypocritical for him to tell Peter to kill the guys when he has spared people before.
Yeah. Fuck him.
Although the mirror dimension fight was pretty cool.
I like that. Yeah.
where Doctor Strange is in is
That weird world.
takes
yeah.
Peter to a place where he's more powerful.
Yeah.
Yet Peter's able to subdue him and get out of there.
It does, yeah. And then after he did that, he tries to find cures for the villains. It happened way too fast. to find the cures for 5 different villains that fast.
Well, I mean, not to make them though.
Yeah, it does those typical Marvel stuff, you know, with the computers and technology. You just open your hands out and it's all this blue digital parts, and he's just press stuff on his fingers. It took him 5 seconds to figure out Darkhawk's problems, and he's like, oh, there's that thing on his neck, let's fix that. And that's it. I understand he's a smart guy, but come on. It took him 5 seconds to research that.
Well, they don't call him amazing for no reason.
But like for 5 different guys as well.
Honestly, if we went to school with someone that intelligent, I probably would have tried to cheat off of them with their homework.
Yeah. So I think around that timing, then that's when everyone starts like casually talking. I think they're all turning against each other in a way, like they all have different morals. Darkhawk is easily a good guy because Peter fixed him. Jamie Foxx was all like, oh, look at all this electricity in the city, oh, I want all that.
He's been misled in life.
Yeah, Sandman's like, oh, okay. This is like, yeah,
because Electro's powers gave him confidence.
It does, yeah.
And we know that Sandman isn't bad at heart, because we do know that he just wants to save his daughter from dying.
Yeah. And
then we see that that Electro is like, hey, you know, you could do a lot more with your sand powers. I mean, he doesn't mention that he could use the sand powers to save his daughter, but it's probably what Sandman was thinking.
Yeah. And then I think that was the moment Green Goblin snapped.
The breaking point.
The breaking point, yeah.
And then he convinces Electro and Sandman to not get their cures.
Yep.
Like seriously, if clearly the Goblin realizes if not taking your medications works for the Joker in the Joker movie, then it probably works for these villains too. even though none of them are as bad as Joker.
Yeah. I expect Electro to like switch sides. I expected better from Sandman. How dare he? He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, he only teamed up with Venom in Spider-Man 3 because Peter was getting in the way. That version of Peter Parker, Spider-Man, was getting in the way of him trying to save his daughter from her cancer.
Yeah. So, Green Goblin kills Aunt May.
Oh yeah,
Can we get to that?
Yeah, that's the big Uncle Ben death of the Spider-Man movies for this one.
Yeah, he did like 12 different things, and she's still alive. Okay, he stabbed her, didn't he? Yeah, he did stab her, didn't he?
Yeah, and
then threw a pumpkin bomb to the back.
And
she's still alive! And then she was leaning, against Peter. She had a good long conversation with him.
doing it her great power comes great responsibility spiel.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that it's not like the bug from Earthbound where it's like, do you want to hear my dying words again? Click yes or no.
Yeah. Hey, she got stabbed and a grenade like flew at her, and she has all this time to like talk to Peter just so she can slowly die.
Well, to be fair, she did still die.
Yeah, I mean she should have
she's
been
not-
dead instantly from that fucking bomb.
Well, then she wouldn't give him the great power comes great responsibility spiel.
She should have been dead from that stab. Come on. That was, oh my god. Like, that seemed like it felt rushed, but also taking its time as well. Like, they really just wanted her to slowly die. But all of that happened so fast.
It has to be one way or the other.
Yeah,
You can't have both.
Yeah. I mean, it did, pretty sure it got everybody crying in the movies, I don't know.
It definitely hit me hard.
Yeah.
And it also affected Happy Hogan.
Poor Happy. Happy is now sad.
And not to mention that Peter was trying to find the cure for all the villains in Happy's apartment.
Yeah.
So his apartment is trashed, and the building is all like blown up.
Yep. So yeah, Tom Holland grieving. He's upset. He wants revenge too, so you kind of see that. Oh, he really wants to kill this guy. And all that, but he shouldn't, and all that.
And not to mention that that J. Jonah Jameson uses this conflict as an excuse to badmouth Spider-Man on the news.
Yeah.
And J.K. Simmons still has it as that character.
Yeah. He is.
And this is
He is an asshole. I hate him. That's why I love him.
they really.
That's why
they really
he's so fucking good.
they really rammed it up for this movie, which is good considering that
That's
he's
his
talking
character.
about, not just Spider-Man, but Peter Parker as well.
Yeah.
And
I hate you.
Yeah, and they didn't bother to try to give Simmons a Jameson toupee to wear, just like showed off his natural baldness,
Yep.
which I think
I like
honestly
that.
makes.
I like that.
They honestly made him look like a bigger asshole.
Yeah. That's
And
why we love him.
He plays the part well.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the
he's
same
real-
if he wasn't an asshole.
He's really good at playing assholes with mustaches. like seriously, between this and Invincible, he's good at playing assholes with mustaches.
Yeah. Think, Parker, think.
Can we get some Spider-Man Invincible fan art where Jameson's beating Spider-Man to the ground?
Yeah, we'll see that. So oh yeah, we didn't mention Ned. He took Doctor Strange's ring just so he can open up portals and all that.
Well, actually, he didn't take it. Peter didn't gave it to Ned.
Peter gave it, yeah. And opening up portals is so impressive. Doctor Strange was kind of surprised towards the ending. So they're probably gonna do something with Ned, like make him a hero.
Well, they indirectly mentioned that he's a villain in a different universe by him saying, by him wondering if there's a universe where he's a villain, because apparently in the comics that character becomes the Hobgoblin.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because you know how he's basically the he's an equivalent to Harry Osborn.
Yeah. Well, how I remember Hobgoblin was the 90s show, because he came first before Green Goblin. So.
So they just skip over to Hobgoblin. Interesting.
Yeah, so. I doubt they'll make him a bad guy in the MCU, but that's something to think about.
That was just a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're going to do another.
I doubt it.
I don't think they're going to do another Goblin story that soon.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, they wait to do the Harry Osborn Goblin stuff until Spider-Man 3.
Oh yeah.
And I guess that they clearly weren't interested in bringing back James Franco for reprising his role as Harry Osborn Goblin.
I mean, from his controversies, I don't think MCU would do that.
I think that Willem Dafoe is enough for that villain category.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to what Ned and MJ are doing. Ned tells the Ring to find Peter Parker, and he does find Peter Parker, just not his Peter Parker.
Yeah, so Andrew Garfield came out first of that portal.
And the applause starts in the theaters.
I bet, yeah. So he was like, hey, Zendaya, you should totally date Oscar. And she's like, yeah, I'll call him in a bit. No joke, that's what actually happened. And then Tobey Maguire stepped out as well. He's like, yeah, I like that guy, Oscar, you should date him.
and the applause got even louder when Tobey Maguire entered the theater. Yeah. I think I might have been applauding at that point.
Yeah. I was in the theater too. I was like, hey, I'm that guy, Oscar. Yeah.
He was like, he was like, hey, Oscar, I think my MJ might be a bit too old for you at this point, but you should totally watch the show Fargo. She does a really good job in the second season of that show.
Very nice. Like when you went to watch the movie, who did you want to see more, Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield?
Obviously Tobey, but I was totally keen on seeing Andrew Garfield get a second chance too.
Yeah.
So the answer is obvious that it is Tobey Maguire, but I am also glad that Garfield got in the movie too.
Yeah, I watched it for. Go on.
Andrew Garfield, not the Orange Cat.
I watched the movie for Tobey, but yeah, I was more impressed with Andrew's performance.
And it was really good to see all three Spider-Mans interact.
Yeah.
It was truly the adventures of Pete and Pete and Pete.
I don't know why, like, their interactions feel more natural, like this shouldn't be a thing, but it did, and it worked.
I don't know, maybe the executives were making sure that they were all being friends on set.
Yeah.
And it really felt like a bit of a mentorship thing. Because when we did see Tobey and Andrew meet Tom Holland on screen, Tobey and Andrew shared their stories about how they lost Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy respectively.
Yeah, that was a good scene. Yeah, because
although it's surprising that Andrew Garfield didn't mention his Uncle Ben, because he also lost an Uncle Ben.
Yeah, it was one of the scenes.
Yeah, he's. I mean, to be fair, both Spider-Men have lost a lot of people, because we do hear that Tobey Spider-Man mention that he also lost his best friend who died in his arms.
Yeah, because that was when Tom Holland was saying, "Oh, I lost my Aunt May. I don't want to do this no more." And yeah, that's when Tobey and Andrew was telling stories like, "Hey, I really wanted to quit as well, but I was really motivated and all that. And I know they would want me to continue, so that was a powerful moment.
And not to mention, we do know that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man did become motivated when he watched Gwen Stacy's graduation speech.
Yeah.
And then he went out to fight Rhino.
That hit me, yeah. The thing about Andrew was, I think the way his movies, he was trying to, well, for him in No Way Home, he was saving lives because he was trying to prove himself because he failed from before. And like, even though Emma Stone isn't in the movie, the Gwen Stacy presence was definitely there. Like how Andrew saved Zendaya, and then you can tell like he was really thinking about Gwen Stacy because he failed to save her from falling off a building or a tower. So that was great acting.
He finally got to save someone from falling for once.
Yeah. But just the three Spider-Mans together, like, somehow it worked.
Yeah, he knows what's like to have his girlfriend fall before his eyes. He doesn't want the same thing to happen to Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Because he just had the Uncle Ben equivalent death.
He did. Like, all three of them, they had a good amount of screen time together. Talked about everything, like the serious moments, and they were working together. They had jokes.
And the spider webs.
The spider webs, yeah, that was funny. Like, oh, that's organic. It's organic. I was like, what?
Yeah, they were surprised about it. Probably as much as the people who saw Spider-Man back in 2002, because that introduced the organic webs.
Yeah.
It's what Sam Raimi thought of.
Yeah.
Himself.
Yeah. Like just them just like casually talking was like just it felt like fanfic. Like it was so good.
It felt like official fan fiction.
Yeah.
That Marvel Studios was happy to endorse.
Like
and not only that, but we also got to hear them bond over the villains they fought in their own stories.
They did, yeah. Like it was just a great moment, that part. And also shows the audience like how unique they are and how different they are from each other.
And it was funny that Andrew Garfield was the only Spider-Man in the movie that has not fought an alien yet. And Toby was like, "Oh, I fought an alien before. He was my Spider-Man suit." And then Tom Holland said, "Yeah, I fought an alien too. He was purple and snapped away half the universe for 5 years."
Andrew's just, "Oh, I fought a mechanical rhino." Like, the Spideys were really good. Honestly, like, I think that's why we just watched the movie, just so hoping we would see them again. We wouldn't get that same feeling if Toby and Andrew weren't in the movie.
Or if they weren't in the movie at the same time.
Yeah. It wouldn't feel the same.
I mean, it was something we were all waiting for, and it came at the right time.
It did, yeah.
It probably would have felt rushed if they appeared at the same time as the villains.
It did, yeah. It's like, why would you have the villains without the heroes? That's the thing.
And then the heroes came and helped.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like Andrew Garfield a little more. I feel like Toby was just there because they have to put him there. I feel like he was just there and that's it.
I mean,
maybe it's because it's not the Sam Raimi. He's not in control or behind the scenes, so you don't get that same feeling. But Toby's just there.
They're at least trying to use him for like an old mentor role.
Yeah, he's the OG, so he feels like the OG. He's just there.
And it feels good to see him interact with the villains from his universe.
Yeah.
when he ends up meeting back up with Darkhawk, the Goblin, and Sandman.
Yeah. So yeah, they all have this big fight on the
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty.
Which was in the process of having Captain America's shield up.
Yeah.
Because they really want to honor him after Endgame.
They do, yeah. It's such a Spider-Man thing to be at for a climactic film. Just like somewhere monumental in New York. It just feels like something Sam Raimi would pick for a final fight scene. So that's why it feels such a Spider-Man movie.
And not to mention that Toby did mention that he usually hung out at the Chrysler Building.
Yeah. So what we said, like with the trailer, like, oh, they edit the other Spideys out for that one shot of all the villains.
It turns out that was completely true.
That's true. It's true. Listen.
Nice try, Marvel. But we saw through you.
Yep. So yeah, the fight was not bad. They were swinging around, punching, and all that. And they were like trying to cure them. That's the thing. So it worked. And then all of a sudden, Green Goblin, he came back. And then it was some serious shit.
After the fight, Tom Holland was about to kill the Goblin,
yeah.
but then Tobey Maguire stopped him.
Yeah.
And then the Goblin stabbed Tobey Maguire, and
got serious now.
Afterwards, he's like, "It's okay. I've been stabbed before."
Yeah. See, when Aunt May gets stabbed, she dies. Toby gets stabbed. Oh yeah, he lasted a while. He's okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if Aunt May was able to get bitten by a radioactive spider.
Yeah.
Because we know how the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Green Goblin was wanting Spider-Man's blood. It's what drove Harry Osborn to become the Goblin.
Yeah. So that happens, yeah. Tom Holland, he was like fucking angry. He was angry. He was fighting Green Goblin, and that's what Green Goblin wanted. He was wanting that anger from him. So, he almost killed him, but he didn't. He cured him, I think. Yeah.
They were honestly spot on with the Goblin's evilness. When he is the Goblin, and when he gets cured and turned back into Norman Osborn, he's like, "What have I done?" And honestly, when all villains get cured, it really does feel good to see them be shed of their wickedness. Not to mention Jamie Foxx's Electro. When he gets cured of being Electro, and he sees Andrew Garfield Spider-Man being unmasked for the first time. It's like,
oh my god, yeah.
He says,
I remember.
I thought you were black. There has to be a black Spider-Man somewhere in the multiverse.
Yeah. Well, the setup for that joke, it was funny. It's like
we all know what that's referencing.
Yeah, but the setup, it was like, I looked up to you. You're from Queens, New York. I always thought you were black. Yeah, maybe we'll get Miles Morales in the MCU.
We'll just have to see who plays him.
Yeah.
Because we do know that the character that Donald Glover played in Homecoming is supposed to be Miles Morales' uncle, who we know...
Prowler, yeah.
Yeah, he becomes the Prowler.
Yeah. Wonder if they're still gonna do something with that. Or with Donald Glover's character.
I mean, we'll have to see if he becomes the Prowler.
So yeah, everyone's good. Tom Holland goes back to Doctor Strange, like, yeah, wipe their memories through all this time. He says goodbye to Zendaya and Ned, and Toby and Andrew, and that kind of touched my heart a little bit.
And
Kinda hit me
Toby and
back.
Andrew and all the other villains get sent back to their own universes, and they leave it unknown on whether or not the villains die or not.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, whatever it is.
And also they sent sent Kurt Connors back to his own universe without giving him clothes first. So,
Yeah.
because you know how he shed his clothes when he became the lizard, so
Yeah.
he just got sent back naked, and he's probably not going to die, because we know he doesn't die, but he's probably going to be arrested, not for turning people into lizards, but for indecent exposure.
Yep. So, Tom Holland, he said he'll promise to, like, get, Zendaya and Ned to remember him and all that, but he went to see him, and then he's like, no, like, I heard you before, and your lives were ruined because of me, so, yeah, no.
And then he moves into his own place and decides that he'll focus on being Spider-Man from now on.
Yeah. One thing I like Tom Holland, I like him now because I think the way we've seen him all the way back from 2016 with his cameo, from now he went from a boy to a man, a Spider-Man that we all know and love. Because back then, people used to criticize him, even me as well. He said like, oh, he was a Iron Man wannabe, or he just wants to be an Avenger so bad. He was just a young kid, he's just geeking out. But now he's the front man of his movies, from now and in future movies.
And not to mention, technically the Peter Parker was even younger when he started out in the MCU, because apparently the kid in the Iron Man mask from Iron Man 2 was supposed to be Peter Parker.
Yeah. I bet.
I mean, that's actually pretty funny. It probably inspired him to become a genius.
So, yeah, I like his character arc. I think he's more mature now. He's definitely a man now.
Yeah, and people complaining about him being too young, that's fixed, you know?
Yeah. He's grown now, so...
So yeah, that problem's fixed, and he gets to be full-on Spider-Man from now on, and J. Jonah Jameson then the final newscast by saying, "There's a lot of destruction at the Statue of Liberty. Spider-Man's responsible for it. Too bad we don't know who he is."
Yep, so... yeah, overall, really good movie.
Well, let's just hope that Jameson doesn't find out that everyone did know who Spider-Man is, but there was a spell cast to make everyone forget. Because he'll probably then try to hire someone to investigate who Spider-Man is. Hey, maybe that'll lead to Scorpion, because in the comics and shows, Scorpion becomes Scorpion after Jameson hires him to try to find out how Peter takes pictures of Spider-Man for the Bugle, and then he ends up getting stuck in the Scorpion suit and becomes evil.
Bro, how do you know all of this?
I watched a Let's Play of the PlayStation game once.
Oh, that's that. Okay.
The 99 one, and it had Scorpion in it.
Okay.
I don't forget stuff that easily when I pay attention.
Saying, how do you know all of this? So yeah,
research. To make a long story short, research.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we covered everything. So what do you think of the movie? Okay, actually, do you want to talk about credits? You want to talk about credits?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like, if you want to talk about the big like after all the credits of the movie, there is the trailer to the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness with an appearance of Wanda, who's about to become the Scarlet Witch. But as we said, we don't care too much about that. The real treat is what happens in the middle of the credits, when we get to see a follow-up to the Let There Be Carnage mid-credit scene, where it has Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock at a bar in Mexico, and he's getting information from the bartender about what's going on in the universe.
Yep.
And he's like, so there was an alien that wanted some stones. Aliens don't want stones; they want to eat brains. And then the bartender says that his family disappeared for 5 years because of Thanos, and and then Eddie then feels bad for the bartender, and then Eddie tells Venom telepathically, maybe we should see this Spider-Man guy, and Venom's like,
Forget that, Eddie. Let's go skinny dipping instead.
but Eddie's really keen on just finding Spider-Man, but then Doctor Strange's second spell happens, and Venom says what we're all thinking.
No, wait, we just got here.
And then Eddie and Venom go back into the Sony Spider-Man universe, but they forget to pay their tab at the bar, and the only thing they leave behind is not their the money that they owe the bartender, but a piece of the Venom symbiote that stayed behind. So it'll lead to something, maybe for Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, there's got to be more to the Venom in the MCU than just that, than just this small little arc hidden within the mid-credits
That's
of their
the thing,
movies.
yeah. I feel like
It'll lead to something bigger.
I felt like that was a missed opportunity to put Tom Holland in that whole movie. I feel like just putting him in the credits felt like a slap in the face.
Honestly, if it leads to a full-on symbiote arc, then I am willing to let it slide.
Yeah, if they confirm that, I get it.
Either that or a crossover with the Sony Spider-Man universe.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to talk about the characters that appeared during the final battle?
Well, I'm still on that Venom rant.
I am too, but I'm trying to keep my cool here.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just say this. If they're making a multiverse movie, just grabbing everybody, and they missed out on Tom Holland, who was the most recent, and they did nothing, and he could have been a big potential to be
Mean Tom Hardy?
Hardy. Could have been potential for Tom Holland, Spider-Man. He could have been like his biggest threat yet, and they did nothing yet.
Maybe I should write a fan fiction about what the movie would have been like if Tom Hardy's Venom showed up.
Yeah. Like, Venom felt like that one guy who's outside in the rain just watching the villains having a party inside. He just felt really left out. Like, they really could have done something with Venom.
I hope that they do something in the future, like have Venom either come back to the MCU or have Spider-Man visit the Sony Spider-Man universe, and they have maybe have a fight, and then maybe Eddie or Venom calls Spider-Man Peter, and then Peter realizes that he knows who he is, and the Doctor Strange spell did not work on him.
Yeah. It's like...
but I mean, there's also the piece of the symbiote that got left behind, so that will probably lead to a symbiote arc.
I hope so.
I don't know, maybe Venom will do the telepathic link to, I don't know, maybe let SSU Venom know that he found Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's more like...
maybe the mid-credits of Venom 3 will be that Venom does his telepathy with his alternate universe counterparts and links paths with MCU Venom, who says,
I have found Spider-Man.
Is it like they're so?
And it's like, hey, we should go back to the MCU now.
Because they're so iconic together. I mean, Spider-Man and Venom, not having them yet, like modern Spider-Man, modern Venom, not having them together yet. I mean, Spider-Man and Venom are like Batman and Joker. They just go great together, and they're doing nothing with them yet. Like, come on. Like, even if there's people out there who wouldn't like the Venom movies recently, but even then, you gotta respect Tom Hardy and what they're doing. So
he nailed it as Venom.
yeah, I bet. So they got, of course, they're like helping him becoming like a new popular character, like refreshing him. And with the Tom Holland stuff, they would go great together. Put them in a room together and beat the shit out of each other. Come on.
Yeah, get the two Tommy H boys together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it could also be that they team up. Maybe when Spider-Man gets the symbiote, maybe Eddie could teach Peter how to use it and stay in control.
Yes. See,
It could also be that.
See, that's gonna be for 4, 5, and 6. They gotta do that. No other fucking characters. Fuck Doctor Strange. Fuck everyone else. Gotta be Spidey and Venom, just them. And then the next one, Spidey, him, Carnage, and after that, Spidey, Venom, Carnage, then Toxin and the other symbiote stuff. Just them from now on.
And if they're gonna do Carnage, maybe get Woody Harrelson back again.
Yeah, gotta get them all back.
And maybe if you're going to do one that's not a symbiote villain, maybe do one of the other SSU villains that are going to appear eventually. Because the part where... Because during the Statue of Liberty fight, they teased some of the other Spider-Man villains.
Oh, we didn't talk about that yet. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, because there was Morbius and Kraven the Hunter, who are getting their own SSU movies.
They're confirmed, yeah.
The Morbius trailer has already come out with Jared Leto in the title role.
Yep. Then there's also they showed Rhino and Scorpion. So Michael Mando is already Scorpion, but we don't know if they're gonna bring back Rhino from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Or have a different Rhino.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said before, they can totally introduce Scorpion through J. Jonah Jameson.
Yep.
Have Jameson get Scorpion stuck in the suit like before. And since we're maybe if we're talking about the Sony Spider-Man universe and maybe he's introduced through that, we could have the Scorpio Venom arc where the Venom suit merges onto Scorpion.
Yeah.
Because Venom's fused with everybody.
Yeah, there's so much they can do.
Yeah, he even at one point fused with Spider-Man's old bully Flash Thompson, who became Agent Venom. Where apparently that Agent Venom really hit home the whole anti-hero thing.
Let's see.
And of course it's what they're trying to do with Venom more now. Especially with the movies.
Yeah. See, I think like after the movie dropped, everyone loved Andrew so much. They said, "Oh, make him, give him another movie. Give him Amazing Spider-Man 3."
I think it's kind of 8 years too late for that.
Fuck.
But,
thank you. I was gonna say that.
I'm excited to just see him in this. I mean, we all want Spider-Man 4 also, but it's also too late for that. Yeah. It's I mean, the reason why we got Amazing Spider-Man is because we didn't get Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, there is no rules that they have to go up to 3. Spider-Man 3 just went up to 3 because they didn't do 4. Andrew only did 2 because the second one was trash. And Tom Holland's gonna get 6. There's no rules for all of them getting up to 3.
And not to mention that they were finally able to do a movie with a whole bunch of villains that's not convoluted with this new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So I'll at least be glad if the MCU Spider-Man gets a Spider-Man 4. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. I will think.
Because again, I want to see what happens with the symbiote.
I will think they'll bring Andrew back for something else, but not for another Amazing Spider-Man movie. Because those same people who saying, "Oh, bring him back, he was so great," they're the same people back then who said, "Oh, the first one was mid and the second one was trash." Come on, let's not pretend those weren't great films.
I mean,
Andrew was great. He was a great Spider-Man, but the movies weren't good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, because you don't really have a chance of him being exactly what you would call good when he becomes Spider-Man by basically breaking into Oscorp to get his powers.
Yeah.
It's that's when the complete goodness gets thrown out the window.
So, overall, what do you think of No Way Home? Home Alone.
I liked it. I loved it.
You liked it? You said liked. Do you love it? Do you think it's amazing? What do you mean by like?
I like that. I love it.
Is it the best movie ever? Is it the best Spider-Man movie ever?
I think it's the best Spider-Man movie out of the MCU ones I've seen. Because it's been a while since I've watched the older ones. I'll probably find them in a collection, and maybe if I want to rewatch Spider-Man 3, I'll probably find the 3.1 cut.
Yeah.
It has Sandman building a sandcastle with his daughter. And doesn't have the scene where Harry Butler says, "Oh yeah, your father got killed by his own glider."
Yeah.
Luckily, No Way Home definitely does not need a 3.1 cut. It's fine as is.
It's fine, yeah.
It's good to see.
Good to see everyone back.
To see Spider-Man successfully have a third movie, and now we just need to see if he'll be consistent with the fourth movie.
Yeah, it's just how are they gonna top that?
And hopefully Sony or Marvel will not try to force a specific villain in, and the writers will be able to put in the villains that are needed for the movie, like what they were doing with No Way Home.
Yeah. No Way Home is a great movie. It's a good Marvel movie, but a great Spider-Man movie. Maybe it's too much of an event movie, more like a hype, but, you know, it feels like a reunion. It feels like a love letter to all those other Spider-Man movies from before. It feels like a celebration of the Spider-Man character, so I really do appreciate that. Because I was kind of worried that, oh, these characters from the trailers, they'll show up for 2 minutes and that's it. You never see them again, so I felt like it was going to be a cash grab, but no. All of them who appeared were all from the plot of the movie, and it worked, so that's a good job. I liked it.
I'm certainly happy.
So yeah, I think, Tom Holland's best Spider-Man movie for now.
And I recently talked to Ben, and he thinks it's the best Spider-Man movie overall.
I say it's up there, yeah. I say it's up there.
Yeah. I'm I'm probably willing to agree with him after I've seen all the Spider-Man movies again.
Yeah, I say like, you know what? I say top 3 or top 5.
Certainly gonna. I know that No Way Home is gonna be in my top 5.
Definitely, yeah. So, oh yeah, Daredevil was in the movie.
Oh yeah, he was Peter's lawyer.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, me too, honestly. And
Yeah.
it was the one from the TV show.
Yeah. You know, it was a cute cameo. It was cute.
I mean, we'll just have to see if he gets his own movie in the MCU someday.
It wasn't in your face or anything. It was just like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's him.
Yeah, I mean, considering that we looked over that one, it just swooped past us. Goes to show that it wasn't forced in.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we explained everything about this movie.
Well, we'll just have to see if people comment on anything we left out. But I'm satisfied.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was just great.
And we'll just have to see what goes on in 2022.
I say if Marvel does more of this, like, it's a step in the right direction. So
And Sony. We'll just have to see what the Morbius movie is like.
Yeah, because parallel universes, if they do more of that, they can easily do a lot of things. So it could please a lot of people. Just bring random characters in and say, "Oh, it's a multiverse," just so they don't have to explain everything.
And could give us room for more villains.
Yep. Also, I didn't tell you this, but it's been confirmed that I'm going to be the next Spider-Man, and Zendaya is going to date me. So look forward to that.
Ooh, could I be Venom?
You can be Venom.
Awesome.
Alright guys, take care. Happy New Year.
See you soon.